We're actually here in the Embassy of Denmark, and we'll be talking to two very important people behind the embassy. And as we ask the questions, it's up to you who's going to answer the question. First and foremost, why do people consider Denmark as one of the most sophisticated and culturally developed countries in the world?
I think that comes from the fact that we have a hyggelig country and we are very happy people. People ask us how come Danes are so happy, and I think that has something to do with our welfare model.
I do think so as well. I think we have created we have a community where you have a large degree of trust in between individuals, and I think that most people feel that they have a basic safety that makes them able to sort of enjoy life without being too concerned. One very simple example is our educational system, where you have free education for all from pre-K until the end of university. You may be shocked by me telling that you even have sort of general student stipends. So university students would receive a certain basic salary from the state.
And fortunately, sorry.
Yeah, well, fortunately, we have been able to sort of make this work together with a rather advanced free market economy, as Denmark is a small, very open, liberal economy.
And may I ask, how have you been able to achieve that? People say that in your country, for example, from birth to death, everything is taken care of.
That's absolutely. You're asking how we are able to
achieve that. Yes. What is the formula? So well, maybe other countries can follow suit.
We pay tax, and Danes pay tax with pride, because we have, like my colleague said, we have a trust in our system, so we know where our tax money goes, and it goes into education and healthcare and running our society.
And then I believe that the fact that many, or rather most, Danish women, females, are on the labor market, and we really use that resource. I can see that we're comparing with the United States, where many well-educated women has to be at home to take care of the kids. There we have created a system where they would still participate in the labor market. I think that really adds to our economy.
Tell us exactly brief information about Denmark, the population of the country itself, and basically what's the main industries, and what would tourists go for if they were to go to Denmark?
We have about 5.5 million people. So
yes.
Maybe a little more by now. And we're made up of a lot of islands, very beautiful flat country. So my contribution to anyone going to Denmark as a tourist would be learn how to ride a bike before you go, because that's a wonderful way to get around.
I definitely think so, and then there are plenty of possibilities to ride small ferries or even rent a kayak or a rowing boat. And in particular during summer, it's very clean, so even in the harbor of Copenhagen you are able to swim and dive.
And if you don't believe that, you can see a picture of that right here from Copenhagen Harbor, where people are jumping in and swimming.
Right. Wow.
With regard to sort of Danish products,
yes.
Lego is the largest toy manufacturer of the world, in fact, and they started out in Denmark. In fact, the name Lego comes out of Danish "leg godt," which directly translated means play well. Among other industries are Medicare, where Novo Nordisk is an example of a really big Danish company at the American market. Finally, the Danish commercial fleet carries, in fact, 10% of world trade. I think that's a surprising fact to most.
Mm-hmm. Tell us about Washington, D.C. How big is your community here?
Well, I think we're surprised every day to find out how many Danes actually live in Washington, D.C., and most of them work in the international organizations such as IMF and the World Bank and so forth. We don't have a very large community in Washington, but big enough for them to come out on EU Open House and help us out.
Mm-hmm.
I should add that most of the Danish immigrants originally went to the Midwest. So we have huge Danish communities up in Minnesota, Michigan, the Dakotas, down to Nebraska.
And what's a special reason for that? Why are they gravitate more to those areas?
I think for us, the climate here is of course wonderful, but it's warm in comparison to Denmark. Whereas the Midwest would be originally more closer to the climate in Denmark, with long cold winters and summers that are there, but I don't know, in the Midwest very hot. And then it's agricultural land, and we are traditional agricultural land. We still have a very sophisticated food producing sector at the United States market. Cheese is an example of one of the very good quality goods we sell here.
Correct me, am I wrong? Denmark is not part of the EU, correct?
Yes, we are.
You are? Yeah, I'm
member.
surprised.
Yes, we are a member of the EU.
Yes, it's because there are others that are not. So why did you become? What is the effectiveness of the EU?
But that provides a huge internal market. Again, Denmark is not a very big country, so we rely on being able to sell and export our goods. And the EU is a free market area. We very much hope then that the ongoing negotiations with the United States and the EU will succeed, so we will have created the world's largest free trade area.
Mm-hmm. In terms of global outreach, is Denmark very much involved also in community work? In other words, when there are disasters in the other parts of the globe, do you also send out your volunteers and relief
Denmark,
efforts?
with the earthquake in Nepal, I believe we sent close to 10 million Danish kroners as part of the rescue effort that were distributed through Danish aid organizations. We sent helpers out, we sent volunteers and aid workers and food.
Yeah, and the fact is that Denmark is among the largest contributors with regard to development aid on a relative basis, because of, again, we are not the largest nation of the world.
Kroner is the currency, and what is the exchange to the dollar?
Oh, is it 6.6 now?
Yes, it is.
So for those people who like to visit Denmark, and in terms of visa regulations, the member EU countries, of course, go to your country for several months without a visa. They don't need a visa,
you
correct?
You don't need a visa at all.
But for the US citizens, then?
You would need a visa to visit the EU, but it's a formality.
I see. So even if you're there for just a week, you would have to apply for a visa?
Yes.
For all the citizens?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Now, what is the special food of the country? Give us that special gourmet recipe.
Well, we're
what are you known for?
Known for
chocolate?
All around the world for what's called the new Nordic cuisine, which talks a lot about eating the food that's where you live. So in Denmark, we're very famous for the food that actually grows in Denmark. And we eat a lot of pork, we eat a lot of fish, and a lot of root vegetables. Quite healthy diet, I think.
It is. Then, well, in fact, here today we are trying to introduce on the American market what is called a Danish flødebolle. That is, well, what could you call it? Almost like, it's sweet, it's a bit like marshmallow.
Kind of a meringue, maybe?
Yeah.
With a chocolate on the outside.
So I would recommend you to try down in that corner.
Give us a special restaurant here that features food from Denmark.
Not in Washington yet, but several in New York, and also around the country where the big Danish communities are. In Solvang, California.
Oh, Solvang!
Yes. Yeah.
Of course, that's very well known. Been there.
And then you'll be
I
able
see.
to get, I mean, half the shops there are bakeries, so bakery is a huge thing. And many, of course, I think know Danish pastry.
Yes. Oh, yes, definitely. Now, finally, how many languages do you speak, and can you speak each one of you a different language? Greetings to the world. What languages? How many languages are there?
I think I could claim 2 or 3 fluently, and then understand a few more.
That's the same thing for me. Yeah.
Any message to the people about your open house DC? How different is this from the past year?
Well, we always try to have a family day where families can come and relax, and kids can play with Lego, and parents can hang around and learn about our country. So welcome here, and velkommen til Danmark.
Yeah.
Yes. How do you say thank you?
Tak.
Tak is thank you. Okay,
Yes.
tak. Thank you so
Mange
much.
tak.
Tak. Thank you.